meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 26, 2024 regularly scheduled Port Clinton City Council meeting in Olinda Hartlock Chambers. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of silent reflection for those serving on your
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman.
Present.
Margaret Phillips.
Present.
Richard Morgan.
I'm here.
Kelly Gagel. Here. Pat Hovis.
Here.
Jerry Trolley.
Present.
Kathy King.
Here. Thank you, Council. You previously received the March 12, 2024 regular meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move to approve the March 12th regular meeting minutes.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? We have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Trolley to approve the March 12, 2024 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. March 12, 2024 meeting minutes are approved. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation. Public comment?
Yes. Alba Cortez, 211 West 3rd Street. Please.
Two things, okay? First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor. Our,
Thanks, Sandy.
pardon me?
Thanks, Sandy.
Okay,
She made the call.
all righty. Thank you, Sandy, for, I appreciate it. My husband appreciates it, and I'm sure my neighbors appreciate it. We had our alley graded. And the second thing is, with spring coming along, we have a lot of foot traffic in front. Any thoughts from the council about people who think they can just let their dogs relieve themselves anywhere? I had one lady say to me that the boulevard is a public area and she can let her dog go wherever it wants. Any thoughts?
Is the dog on a leash?
Yes.
We do have a ordinance about you shouldn't, you need to clean up after your dog, but realistically, you're probably gonna have to see it, take a picture of it, and then get it to us, because otherwise, those are kind of tricky, because unless you actually are standing there and you see it. I mean, I've sent a letter before telling people to not do that, to stop doing that. If you want to, you probably don't even know who that is.
No.
Just some random person walking.
Yeah, I've had, sometimes I catch them and I give them bags, and some are nice, some are not so nice. But with the mowing, I don't want to
That's tricky,
step
yeah.
in that stuff.
That's kind of tricky if you don't know who it is.
I-
I'd say I could send a letter, but I wouldn't know who to send
I
it.
thought about putting a sign in front, because sometimes I see them what they're wearing. It's like, okay, this is for you. But I'm
Put it in
sure
your
they,
yard, no.
I don't think they would appreciate that either.
Just put it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what the.
Can something be put in the information, or, the, whatever
Water bill.
goes on? Water bill?
Yeah.
Just,
It can be,
A
but it doesn't mean they're
reminder?
gonna read it or.
they're not like me who reads everything.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so just
If
kind of
Misery
watch
Loves
them.
Company, it happens in the parks,
I-
it happens on
It
the
happens
marching band
Everywhere.
practice field behind the high
Oh,
school.
yeah.
It's-
I understand.
everywhere, unfortunately. We can, I don't know, maybe put it on the water
I'll
bill.
get mine to you.
Please do consider it to others.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to executive officer's report. Council, this evening, there are 3 new ordinances for their first reading. Administration has asked that they all be passed on the first reading, as they are time sensitive and they will not be assigned to a committee. We have 6-24 and 7-24. Mr. Colston, I think, will talk a little bit about those. And 8-24, Mr. Beal will talk about during his time. It's a very nice event. Thank you, Mr. chilly, but the kids, I think, had a good time, and so it was very, very nice. And then happy Easter, everyone. Move on to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, members of the council. Hope you're all doing well. Just a thank you and an attaboy to the members of the Port Clinton EMS and the Port Clinton Police Department. Shortly before 4 a.m. on Friday, March 15th, a squad was toned to residents in the west end of the community, toned out as a neck laceration. Seems like a unique thing. EMS showed up on the scene and were very, very quickly to identify it as a gunshot wound. Long story short, the victim was transported to Magruder Hospital. Police were called to the scene immediately, set up perimeter, started an immediate investigation. Victim was transported to Magruder Hospital, treated, later released that day. And less than 12 hours later, an individual was arrested over in Bayview. So again, congratulations to all the members of the emergency services that responded and did everything appropriately. It was interesting to listen to on the police scanner, and so again, congratulations. And it's something that doesn't happen too often in Fort Clinton, so it's definitely worth mentioning and talking about. Council, earlier today in this room, and Ms. Phillips and Mr. Trolley were also in attendance. Kleinfelder was here with 4 different contractors that submitted bids for the first phase of the forward-looking infrastructure project, the Lakeshore Drive sidewalk on the north side of the road, and the crosswalk installation between Docks and Eds. Lower bid was identified. The next step in this process is for that information on that bid to be sent to ODOT. Again, this is an ODOT-led project. They have final authorization. It's anticipated that late this week, early next week, if that low bidder qualifies, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, that bid will be authorized. You've already given Mr. Colston the ability to sign the contracts and move that process forward. Council, Tracy and I, or Mr. Colston and I, had a conversation the other day with Fred Peterson from the Ottawa County EMA. Shortly after 9/11, both the Ottawa County Sheriff and Port Clinton Police Department received federal dollars to help with communications. And as the federal government likes to do, they often have a review of those dollars that were given out so many years ago. The sheriff, in conjunction with the Port Clinton Police Department, have been reviewing how those dollars were spent, how the equipment is holding up, so on and so forth. There needs to be a 6-person panel of community members as they put it, executive officer of the largest municipality in the city. I'm on that board. Township trustee will be on that board. A member of a council, whether it's Port Clinton City Council, Genoa, Elma, whatever it might be, and I'll tell you, don't worry, it's not going to be anyone here because they're trying to spread it out around the county, will be identified. But with that council person, it was either 2/3 or 3/4, 2/3. 2/3 of the councils in the county have to authorize whomever it is they name to be the council representative. Long story short, I expect some legislation coming from Fred Peterson sometime that will be placed in front of you authorizing Joe Smith from XYZ or Jan Smith from XYZ council to be placed on that review board. The panel reviews the report, and then it's sent on to the federal government. Again, another one of those amazing steps in government that we all come to know and love. I too would like to thank Ms. Ostheimer for all of her efforts on the Easter egg hunt. There were others involved, but Sandy was the driving force and did an amazing job putting that together. 5,000 eggs, 12 baskets, hundreds of different prizes, and there was not a frown on anyone's face down there. Even those kids that didn't get eggs got something. So we all froze to death, and I will admit, yes, it was cold. But thank you, Sandy. I don't know if you want to say anything about the others that I don't want to throw into the bus right now, but the others that helped and made it happen.
We had 2 council members, Kathy King and Lisa Stardy. We also had Julie Frederly from our water department. Michelle Bryant, our tax commissioner, was the Easter Bunny. And has been sorry. I don't think it's
You mean she brought the Easter Bunny in? She brought the Easter Bunny in.
That's right.
Children love to watch.
Next thing you're going to do, she's going to say that I'm Santa Claus.
As well as Dave Scott, our chief of police, was there. My husband, Dave Ostheimer, a friend of ours, Sue Prentice. And also Jennifer Tack from tax department, I believe. I hope I listened to that. It was great success. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, great job. Just a reminder again that the citywide cleanup will be on Saturday, April 20th, out in front of City Hall from 8 a.m. to 3. Contact City Hall or go to our website for a list of prohibited items. PC Day at Fifth Third Field is still going to happen on August 25th. Information on how to get tickets are on our city Facebook page and website. Council, in front of you, you will see a flyer for a Port Clinton 4th of July celebration fundraiser, the Big Bang Reverse Raffle. Raffle tickets go on sale through Eventbrite at 7 a.m. on April 1st and will be sold all the way through to the 22nd of May. Tickets are $100, and if and when all 200 raffle tickets are sold, the top 3 grand prizes will be $500 up to then $1,500, and then the last ticket in the bucket is $7,500. There will be other prizes throughout the day. If we don't sell all 200, the prizes will be manipulated based on the amount of money coming in. Bottom line is, after all expenses, we're looking, if 200 tickets are sold, we're looking at about $10,000 towards the fireworks, and ironically, we need about $9,973 to have the 4th of July festivities. So again, post that after April 1st. There'll also be some information on Facebook after April 1st. The drawing, if you will, the reverse raffle drawing will take place the Thursday night of the Walleye Festival, which is May 23rd inside the entertainment tent starting at 5 o'clock. We intend to be done by 7 because that's when the entertainment starts. So again, tickets go on sale starting April 1st. Only 200 will be sold. Festivities will take place on the 23rd of May at Waterworks, at the Walleye Festival. And finally, just a happy Easter to everyone. Enjoy the time with your family. That concludes my report, unless anyone has any questions.
I originally read this as $750, so this changes everything.
You know, $100 sounds like a lot, but you get three buddies together, each pitch in $33 and change. Guess what? You could walk out with $2,500. 10 coworkers get together, each pitch in $10. You could walk out of there with $750. So it is doable. This price point has been done in the past and a couple of different occasions and is easily sold out. So I'm knocking on wood that our community will come together for 4th of July festivities.
Does anyone have any questions for the mayor?
No,
You feeling okay, Mr. Crowley?
no. Flip started today, so I'm all right right now.
Okay, thanks.
I don't want to be disappointed.
Auditor's report, Mr. Bealow.
Thank you, Madam President. Council, good evening. Ordinance 824, I can speak to now. I'm happy to entertain any questions. It authorizes Mr. Colson and myself to execute all the necessary paperwork to implement the $959,000 grant award from the U.S. Forest Service, which is under the U.S. Department of Agriculture as well. And I ask that council approve that tonight, just so that we don't miss any deadlines and other things that are coming up that could potentially delay the project and the funding.
Mr. Bealow,
Mr. Trolley.
at our last tree commission committee meeting, we were told that the grant money can only be used for disadvantaged areas. Is that still ongoing? Has that been changed, or?
No, that is the case. And so the way that's defined in the program is census tracts, or what's called census blocks, a little bit larger than actual census tracts, that meet certain environmental metrics. And so it would not be my understanding, and we'll get confirmation, is that it wouldn't be the entire city, but it would be significant chunks of land on both the west and east sides of the community, so still well worthwhile.
Okay,
Even if
good.
we can't fund improvements everywhere.
But we can get some
Yes.
areas taken care of. Good.
Yeah.
Thank
The
you for that.
disadvantaged community criteria, that was implemented because it was decided that our funds along with that of about 60 other municipalities and recipients across the Midwest, not just Ohio, but Midwest and beyond. Were lumped together to be managed by an entity that will solely manage funds without any cost share. Our original grant was originally to be a one-to-one match in kind and cash from the city and all the partners. Now the money is completely without cost to us, essentially free money, if you want to think of it that way, which is incredibly rare. The only caveat is, per U.S. Forest Service, it has to be spent, and the benefits can only go to those disadvantaged community census tract or blocks that we've identified.
Can I ask one more question?
And that also, unfortunately, knocked out a lot of the other partners, with one exception. A very small tract of land within the village of Oak Harbor would be eligible too, so we'll, I've talked with the mayor, and I think he's still interested in participating in any way they can over in Oak Harbor.
Okay, this, the disadvantaged areas, does that include equipment that we need to buy for those areas?
No, equipment purchases are prohibited, and
Okay.
instead they're encouraging the use of lease or contract services for whatever you need to do. So
Oh, okay.
It's not
Okay.
purchasing
That's
capital
good.
equipment, but
Right.
the exercise of equipment and the benefits can still be included in eligible expense.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Buell.
So as I learn more, I can share more, but thank you for your patience, and please approve ordinance 8 tonight, and I'm happy to answer any further questions about that now or later.
Any questions for Mr. Vila?
That is my report. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, Mr. Byrne?
I have no report tonight, so I doubt I'll have any questions.
Why don't you have a report?
Not ready, I guess. That was the main question.
Along with Director Mashanker.
I do not have anything tonight, Madam President, thank you.
Thank you, Service Director Mr. Colson, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. 724, that's Sassy Sal. We do usually 2-year contracts. We're going to keep it the same. It basically runs from April 15th through October 31st. They make 3 payments. The total amount is $5,500. Something we've kept doing. I think they're good partners with us up there, so I think it's great to help out their business in a sense and make some income off of it. So $5,500. Payments are May 1st, June 1st, and July 1st. They're roughly $1,833 and $1,834 to cover that. So I would ask you to pass that because we saw that April 15th is the date, and by the time we do all the readings, then I think we'd be past that. So I talked to Jan, they definitely, Serwinski, and she definitely wants to do it again. So I think it's good, and then they can roll it over, they can do it again in 25, and we'll be visiting that again after that. The CHIP one is something we've done in the past, I believe. It's those time where you're probably more involved than any of us with that. So that one we'd ask to get passed. That is time sensitive with the county, so let's get that taken care of also. Can't answer a ton of questions on that, but it's obviously helping out people with their stuff up there at the CHIP. So I think it's a good program, and I think we should be involved. We used to administer it, but we don't anymore, so we just participate and have the capability for our citizens. So I think it's a good thing to have. So that would be all I have tonight. Thank you. Any questions?
Who administers it?
Mark.
Mark Messa.
Okay.
I used to administer it the first year in
Good job.
2016, and it was moved on to Mark Mesa. We were gonna do it every other year, but then the county just kept it. And it's working out fine.
Sure, you're fine.
Mark, no, Mark is very good at it.
Oh, very much
So we're in
You've
good
got enough
hands.
to do.
She made a good point. We are in very good hands with them doing it.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
And just also, the county has already signed their legislation. I received it today.
Madam President, I have another question for Minister Colston. The land bank, is there any action going on with that?
For nothing, obviously the house in the corner here got tore down. They gotta
Right.
still fill that in.
Is there any more?
I can't answer that. Obviously, we'll have to discuss who's gonna be on the land.
Okay, and what's going on where the church was? It's cordoned off.
Where the church.
On State Street.
State Street where the cones are, for the tank.
The abatement.
Oh, yeah, that property on State?
Yeah.
I mean, they want to do an environmental study there, the county does. We have to name it a nuisance, which we did, We put the cones around it so they can get grant money to do that. And then they can go after money. There supposedly was some tanks there in the past.
Oh,
And so they want to do an investigation first, obviously, and get grant money to do that. And then they can go after money if they have to clean it up.
okay, all right, makes sense. Thank
That's
you.
why we put it around there, so people wouldn't get on. And it is sinking a little bit in a couple spots, so we don't need that.
Right.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Move on to committee reports. Finance, Mrs. Oates.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Environment and Public Works, Mr. Troy.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Safety Services, Ms. Phillips.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Economic and Community Development, Ms. Goodman.
We have a meeting immediately after this meeting, Madam President.
Thank you. We'll move on to correspondence. On the correspondence, we have the February 8, 2024 approved Planning Commission / Board of Zoning Appeals meeting minutes. February 8, 2024 approved Architectural Review Board meeting minutes. February 20th, 2024 approved Finance Committee meeting minutes. February 22, 2024 approved Planning Commission Board of Zoning Appeals meeting minutes. Ottawa County Health Department 2023 annual report released March of 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the correspondence as stated?
Madam President, I move that all correspondence listed be approved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mr. Trolley to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries and the correspondence are approved. We'll move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have no third readings. Under second readings, we have ordinance 4-24. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 4-24?
Ordinance number 4-24, an ordinance to approve January 2024 replacement pages to the Port Clinton codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Council wish to take any action as to ordinance 4-24? Seeing none, ordinance 4-24 will be moved to its third reading on April 9th, 2024, the next regular scheduled council meeting. We'll move on to first readings. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 6-24?
Ordinance number 6-24, an ordinance to approve the Community Housing Impact and Preservation 2024 Partnership Agreement between the City of Port Clinton and Ottawa County, and to authorize and direct the Director of Safety and Service to execute the agreement and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 6-24?
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Troll.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings for ordinance 6-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 6-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yeah.
Kelly Gagel,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The 3 required readings are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 6-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
I'd like to make a motion that we retain the emergency clause in
Thank
ordinance 6-24.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hovis. Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 6-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Kelly Gagel,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The emergency clause is hereby retained. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 6-24?
Madam President,
Mr.
I
Trolley.
make a motion that we adopt ordinance 6-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
Any discussion? I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt ordinance 6-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan,
Yeah.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Kelly Gagel,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 6-24 is hereby adopted. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 7-24?
Ordinance number 7-24, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to enter into a dockage and wharf agreement with Sassy Sales Charter Service Incorporated, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 7-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings for ordinance 7-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second? A second. Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 7-24. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Kelly Gangel,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Jerry Twillie,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Okay, motion carried by a vote of 7-0. The 3 required readings are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 7-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
make a motion that we retain the emergency clause in ordinance 7-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 7-24. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Jerry Twillie,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Kelly Gangel,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Motion carried by a vote of 7-0. The emergency clause as to 7-24 is hereby retained. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 7-24?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 7-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Lewis. Any discussion?
Just make sure I got this right. This is across from the fish company, right? Is that where this is?
No.
Alongside it.
End of Jefferson.
End of Jefferson.
Sassy's.
Right by,
Oh, Jefferson, not
Yeah.
Madison. Okay, Jefferson, okay, and I'm not familiar what this is doing. What is this?
They're basically leasing that space there to park their boat to run their business. We've probably done it 20 years by now. We do 2-year agreements every year.
Okay, we own that and they lease it from us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I want to make sure. Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Right.
Any additional questions? Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt ordinance 7-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kelly Gangel,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Jerry Twillie.
yes.
Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 7-24 is hereby adopted. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 8-24?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to waive the 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
She's got to read.
Oh, I thought you did. I'm just rolling right along, sorry.
Jerry's hungry.
Let's go. Sorry,
That's
myself.
why we need to.
Wow.
Ordinance, I don't know now. Ordinance 8-24, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service and Auditor to enter into a sub-award grant agreement with the American Forests on behalf of the United States Forest Service to implement the City of Port Clinton Urban and Community Forestry Inflation Reduction Act Grant Award.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 8-24?
Madam President, I would like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings of ordinance 8-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips. Any discussion?
Jerry's excited about
Yes,
the
he
trees.
is.
Tree got me excited.
I just want to say for the record, I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 8-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Kelly Gangel,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The 3 required readings are hereby waived as to ordinance 8-24. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 8-24?
Madam President,
Mr.
I
Trolley?
can make a motion we adopt ordinance 8-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt ordinance 8-24. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Kelly Gangel,
Yes.
Richard Morgan, Pat Hovis.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carried by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 8-24 is hereby adopted. We'll move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
I want to read what they said, but I've never done one of those Easter egg hunts. I guess I should go. But they were cool, and thank you for doing that, Sandy, and all you
Thank you.
people out. All right, that was good.
Mrs. Gangle?
I don't think I have anything tonight.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Phillips?
Nothing in particular, but Mr. Morgan, where they parked for Sassy South, there were problems originally because they would park at North Madison, take up those 2 spots. They're going onto the park area right at the very beginning, and they usually take maybe 6 or 8 vehicles, and they're always gone by about like 9 or 10 in the morning. They don't stay out there forever, so they really do not impede anything.
Okay, yeah.
Mrs. Hovis?
Everybody have a happy Easter.
Mr. Trolley?
Yes, I reiterate what Ms. Ovis said. Happy Easter to everybody. Mr. Colston, do you see any need for a committee meeting for Environment and Public Works this month? Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Mrs. King?
Yes, I too want to wish everyone a happy Easter, and I want to encourage Mr. Morgan to go to the event next year. It's so much fun, like watching the kids just go crazy, and all these eggs just gone in seconds. It's so amazing, and Sandy does a great job every year, so thank you.
If Michelle Bryant has other things happen, I think we have something for Mr. Morgan to
Oh
do
yeah,
next year.
there you go.
Be a good one.
Thank you, Madam President. I missed the egg hunt and I love going, but because of work I couldn't go. Next year, I don't plan on missing it. I wanted to thank Sandy too. She's done some research for me and I appreciate her efforts. She goes above and beyond. Every time I ask her anything, she gets back to me quickly and it's just much appreciated. And April 8th, we have a little event happening, for about 31 million people across the United States. So I hope everybody enjoys it. If they don't have Eclipse glasses, you can get them a bunch of places. The Fort Clinton Chamber has some for sale. And I just hope everybody gets to see that momentous event happen. Nothing else, Madam President, unless Mr. Colston can work on the weather for that day. I know he's got some pull around here, so be appreciated, sunny and maybe 60 degrees.
Yeah, April 8th, there's about a 60% chance.
But we're still far
It'll
out.
still be dark,
It
though.
changes by the moment, so.
Cloudy or not, still gonna be dark.
I don't have anything else for him, thank you.
Seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. King. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mrs. King to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same sign. We're adjourned. Thank you.